So in another one of my 2 of 3 videos that I've made, this is trucking accessories, and what I wanted to do is make a video for the Garmin LMTHD. This is a GPS for semi-trucks, and you could also use it in your personal car, and it has a built-in dash cam. So that's 3 really good ways and things that I love about this dash cam. Another thing, at the beginning, you can actually choose if you want to just select for a semi-truck or a car. So before we start driving it, let's go ahead and start with the vehicle profile for the semi-truck. This one is the most interesting to me because it really lets you customize, whether you have doubles, triples, or the size of the load. So it's going to try to pick the best route that it could put you on, so you don't end up going under a bridge that you're not supposed to be under, and it's just overall more safety. And I overall think it's going to help you reduce getting any type of like tickets from being in areas you're not supposed to be at. So from the main menu, you have this settings. You'll click on that and you'll go into vehicle and profile. Now vehicle and profile, we already know you have the semi selected. 13.6, that's an average height for a semi, but you can go in here and actually customize and type in exactly your height. So if you get out and measure your trailer and you from the ground up, what's the height, and you want to try to get set on a route that's according to that, this will help you do that. Same thing with the width. The width, you can even customize that. That's important. The overall length, you can even customize that. So really, this is an awesome GPS. The gross weight, you know, in some states, I've heard that it's a little bit different. I have not been seasoned enough for that, but with this, I can kind of type in really what I got. So total gross weight, max weight per axle, number of axles, max speed. Because my truck is governed at 68, I put in that 68, so when I get it, I really want to get the arrival time on the dot. I want to be able to do that so I can calculate. Hazardous material, the odometer, you can put in the VIN, the tractor number, trailer number, trailer configuration. I might actually skip this. Now on the car setting, really looking at that and getting into it, you kind of have, really, for that most part, nothing. But if you really wanted to get down to it, or maybe if you were even driving like a U-Haul trailer to move stuff, which I've seen this happen multiple times. People go under bridges they can't fit under. Get this, put it in tractor trailer mode, and bam, done. But just kind of getting back into the semi settings, for, you know, the navigation, you get into that and you have all these little things that you can select from to really kind of set up how exactly you want to go about your route. You know, you have the calculation mode, faster time, off-road, shorter distance. So I'm probably never going to use the off-road unless I'm riding a horse, or I'm just drive my SUV off-road, which you're never going to drive a semi off-road, let's be real. So avoidances, U-turns, carpool lanes, on paved roads, you can actually add to this. What else they have? Highways, ferries, carpool lanes, on paved roads. And you know, I have what I like. I know I always travel the highways because I want to try to get there on time. And then you can even add avoid area, add avoid road, and you can actually manually type in things that you don't want to, you know, if you know you're not supposed to be on a road and you want to add it to this, it'll save it. Toll roads, this one I always set to always ask, because if you hit avoid, it's going to make a longer trip. You don't really want that. Or you could just go allow, but environmental zones, always ask, avoid, allow. GPS simulator, that's just for indoor use. If you want to try it out in your house, try to get used to it. I'm not using that today. Let's get into the camera next. Record on startup, enabled. I always have that. I want to have that set up that way. If something happens immediately, it's there and I don't need to actually manually hit the record. Automatic incident detection, enabled. Absolutely. Record audio, enabled. Absolutely. Data overlay, enable time and location, video resolution, higher resolution, record after power loss. I set it to 3 minutes just in case I want to take this thing off like this and you know, mess with it. And by the way, on the back of it, it has that little strip and it's magnetic, so it just clips back up and we're pretty much back to working again. Now we're going to go through the Bluetooth menu, open this up, and initial Bluetooth setup, not paired or for the phone call and not paired for the headset. I've paired these before, and I just kind of prefer not really pairing it. I mean, I have, even in my semi truck, I have one of these holders for my phone. You know, same thing, bam. Phone's pretty much right in front of me, but it's just on my left side. And with doing it like that, I'm not interrupting my maps, my live feed for where I have to go. And the way I set this up, I pretty much put it in the center part of my window on the semi truck. It's not blocking my view, but I can glance from the road to the map within a matter of a second and back. Otherwise, some people may place it in areas where you have to look way down to look at something way up, and then, you know, the timing from doing this motion like that, that's like a little bit more time, and things can happen in a drop of a hat. And moving on, we can go into the brightness, but you know, I don't think I really need to explain that, because here's the easiest way to adjust your brightness. Voice command.
Say a command.
Brightness. Brightness.
Brightness is at 100%.
50%.
Brightness is at 50%.
100%.
Brightness is at 100%.
Exit. And when you're looking things up on the fly, you can use that voice command, and really it works like a charm because you don't have to touch it. If anything comes up, you're really trying to do something without touching it. You know, I mean, that's a main thing. The voice command is really your friend on this. And it doesn't
say a command.
It doesn't work too bad unless you actually say what I just said. I don't want to say it again because I don't want to mess it up. Every now and then I find myself having to repeat something like twice, but really, I mean, that's not bad. So traffic mode and providers is our next one, and you have traffic. Guess that one's not going to open up. Current provider. I've tried selecting this for some reason. This just kind of keeps rolling and trying to refresh. Subscription, lifetime subscription, HD. Optimize route on request or automatic. Traffic alerts, and I always put most because I want to know when a wreck has happened. And a lot of this stuff too. You have proximity alerts, type of alerts, audio, etc. So let's go ahead and have this thing route us to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Voice command.
Say a command.
Find city.
What city in United States?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Would you like to begin navigation?
Yes. Yes. Now we just let it calculate, and we'll have a route within a few seconds.
Please drive to highlighted route.
That's our question for the tolls. And for this, usually I just touch the screen, I just hit yes. Okay, so now one of the best features I like on this, it's not always talked about, but it's really important, to be able to customize your route. Basically, just take your two fingers and zoom out. And you take this little thing and punch it. And now what you can do is zoom in on the area that you want and say, you know, you're not really happy. You want to kind of like select an interstate to get there. And click right on the sign itself. And say if you click it like I just did, I messed up and it's calculating it. If I ever make a mistake like this, this gives you a little area where you have a box, and then you get rid of that. Delete shaping point, yes. And now we're going to try to create our shaping point from 80. So let's go ahead and click on, actually might have already set it up, but yeah, because you can see our old line and the new one now where it goes on 80 to get to Philly, but that was our old one. I mean, it's kind of like on this, the time I went back and just looked at it, replayed the video, and I see, you know, taking 76 versus 80 is not really a big difference. And I suppose at that point, maybe you just kind of want to, if you know the area a little bit better and you know where traffic gets congested, my secondary tool that I like to use is usually Google Maps, because you can kind of see on this, I mean, these little red areas, that's where the traffic's going to be more slowed down, and you can kind of see along your route really what you want to do. And I mean, zooming out, you want to get a better picture of the country and where the traffic picks up at. I mean, you know, Chicago's always been horrible, but even coming up here, you can kind of tell this must have got really hit by snow up by Kalamazoo. So we're setting up our route and planning it. Now we know we can avoid this and say we're headed east. We could take 80, or what is that? Actually, that's Interstate 90 instead of taking 94. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this thing to the test, and we're gonna go take some areas that I know a truck cannot possibly be on, or you know, you're probably gonna get a ticket. So this thing actually recalculates as you drive it. Right now I'm kind of intentionally going off course to get this thing to recalculate. And also you'll hear plenty of time before you get to a corner on when you have to take and make a corner. So like in a semi, if you're driving a manual and you really gotta have a lot of time to downshift, it kind of gives you that time. So another thing I like about this is it kind of records your speed as you're driving also. So when you're going in and out of speed zones that change a lot, this records it so you can't get a ticket from a cop saying you were speeding. It kind of protects you a little bit, but I find it's a little delayed, just a little bit. Well, most of the times it's pretty much dead on. So here comes the low clearance. I'm gonna go ahead and go down this road, and this thing's immediately gonna start giving me some warnings. So even like this bridge is 13.2. It didn't tell us to go towards it. We missed our corner, and you know, of course as a driver, you'd have seen that way ahead of time. You would have not wanted to go under that bridge, but it gave you the warning ahead of time. So isn't that neat? Now moving on to a little bit of the dash cam. So the dash cam is a really great feature, and to access the dash cam, all you do is have to hit the little camera button that says recording. This is the way I have mine set up, where that's immediately on the side. And I mean, if in case anything ever were to come up and maybe this doesn't record it, you're kind of worried about it, you'll always save for sure. Hit that save button. Hitting the save button, you know, it actually kind of helps you save that event from what happened, and it should keep about 10 minutes of video. So now we have our video and we want to play it back, and we don't want to take the SD card out, put it in a computer and all that. I don't know how their GPS devices are, or dash cam devices, but this one made it easy. Check it out. So when you touch the recording button and you go into this little clip right here and you'll click that, now it's gonna stop recording. That's just the warning it gives you. Yes, that's fine. Now you can go back and view all the clips that you have had on this. So let's go back to a clip where I was driving and you know, just kind of play it. So take a look at this one. And it's nice. If you notice, I'm gonna try to kind of pause this so we can kind of hear what I got going on. But if you notice, pausing it, it shows the road that I'm on, and it shows a little bit of the video. So this is like really detailed, and the idea, you need to have something back you up in court. This is the perfect thing to get. I mean, even if you're just moving and using a U-Haul, get this thing. It's gonna save you. And I was talking to my friend, you know, just trying to talk this thing up on the phone that day. You know, I have my headset, by the way. My favorite headset that I have, this is by Blue Parrot. This is going to be my next review on just accessories to get when you're driving semi, and I like this a lot. It works great. I'm not having to touch anything for that matter. You just flip down the mic, you got a button. You could set up voice commands and stuff like that. You have the power button there, the rocker button for the volume, and yeah, it's great. So to take a look at this and really see how much you're going to be putting out for this, I'd say get the semi GPS though, because you can select car mode and you can select semi mode, but you can pretty much, when doing that, if you're using a U-Haul or you're hauling a really big load and you really don't know where you can go and you want to just be a little bit careful, this helps you. But you can get these for cars too, and it's just simply made for a car. This is about like a $500 GPS, but I find it really to be amazing, and the capabilities that it has and the options it has. As soon as you dive into it, you get to know the device a little bit more. I mean, it's just hands down, you know, I mean, for me, it's a must-have. You're looking at the price of like $500 for this one, and if you get the regular GPS, that is the Garmin DezlCam LMTHD, You also have one for a car too, and to get the one for a car is $339.95. But in today's world, with, I believe, insurance fraud and a lot of things that go on, people trying to always get over on somebody, and maybe their car gets old, they're like, hey, let's go crash it. It's better to protect yourself and be safe than be sorry. Always choose safe over being sorry. And if I didn't touch anything on this and you have any questions, hey, maybe leave it in the comments. I may even make another video on this, because I'm keeping this thing, I'm not getting rid of it. Oh, and by the way, the 770 DezlCam, it does not have the dash cam. The GPS does not have a dash cam, but the screen size is a little bit different, but it does have a little port on the side of it where you can buy a dash cam for it and just plug it in and plug and go. I did, however, have the 770 before I got this, and I just decided I wanted to have a dash cam. So I got, ended up telling work, hey, I want this one. So I have it at work where they set up a financing for you, or you can just go in there and buy it straight out from them. And basically that's what I did. And another thing I want to say on this that's very important with Garmin GPS is typically they'll have lifetime updatable maps. So that's big time important. Go and download the app onto your computer or your MacBook Pro. In my case, I have a MacBook Pro. But then any roads that are not on there will be on there once you do the update. And, I don't do it fairly often, but I do it quite a bit. But at least existing roads that have not been changed that much, are still going to be on here, and this thing will send you that route. So, and on my MacBook, I have the program like right there for the most part, and you go to it, you'll click on it. Maybe I'll make a separate video on how to update your Garmin, but this whole thing will start up, and you can add, it's pretty much add devices from this, and I have my DezlCam here. Of course, it's not connected, so refresh, check for updates, tools and content. Of course, the camera's not, the GPS is not connected, but when I'm ready to update it, plug it into this. You do not try to update it on your mobile hotspot, just because this takes a lot of data, and sometimes you could leave the GPS plugged in for maybe like an hour or two, depending on how many updates it has to do. Pretty big thing, so there we go. That's about all I can think of for what I could cover on this nice GPS device. So if you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. Open up, reach out to me. So there we go. Thank you for watching. Have a good day, and be safe.